What are some of the advantages to the BIM scans?
The neat thing about the BIM scans is you get to share those with all the team members. You'll be able to reduce site visits and people on site. Within the accuracy of the scans, you can reduce RFIs, measurement, and modeling costs with these models. You can also produce a much more accurate Revit model from the existing conditions with these scans. You can leverage scans for a building's lifespan too. So you do it one go, you can come back, do it again, catch as-built of what was done during construction, and then any changes afterwards that the client would like, then you could come back and scan it again.
What is COBie data?
COBie data is data derived from the 3D models that quantify elements within the model. They assist with facilities management down the road and asset locations. It helps a client, especially with a large campus, keep up with the scheduling and replacement of repair on equipment.
But with these scans and be able to virtually walk the buildings, do you think you could send just those scans to engineers and have them assess the buildings themselves without even having to step foot on site?
Well, between the scan itself and recap and the images that it provides, which are 360 images at each scan site, yes, you could put together a building assessment report from the scans themselves.
And a big term that's used is the VDC. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, VDC is virtual design and construction. It's where the design team creates 3D models, either with Revit or some other BIM software, and hands it off to the subcontractors and GC. The subcontractors and GC then pick it up, and we fit it up as they would on site. This helps cut down on RFIs and loss of labor time when fitting up a building, because we do it remotely and get all the coordination work done.
Okay, that's cool. From your experience of doing this the last few years, how have the models been that you get compared to what you are spitting out to be built?
So the design model is diagrammatic, really. When an engineer puts together a model, they're doing it to convey information. So though they do check for fitment, it's not exact. A lot of times the designer will engineer the space correctly, but overlook certain fitment items, especially with sloping pipe, fire protection heads. So this gives us an opportunity to look at that and see how we can time the contractors and the subcontractors to get in and install it and coordinate that.
What is construction validation?
Construction validation is basically validating the construction process. So we can go in with a 3D laser scanner, multiple points during construction, scan the space, and clash that with the VDC models and see if the GCs and subs are coordinating as we designed.
Do you see this being a common nature 5 years, 10 years from now?
I think it cranks up the efficiency of the building process, especially when we move into robotics. We can set up the robots to, say, shoot in rods into the concrete and cut that time back on guys marking hanger locations. There are products becoming more available. So I think this is the way of the future, and I don't see it going away. I think it'll push engineers to become more accurate in what they're laying out spatially and to coordinate that better and better as we move forward, especially with BIM.
Yeah, and that's what we've talked about with some of our clients, getting the design team on board early and say, hey, here's some extra fee. Let's make this BIM model actually buildable and not just try to get 2D drawings out of it. And I think that begins all the way from the architectural model to the structural model to the MEP systems being put into that model. We're going to go through a case study real quick, so I'll let Tim kind of go through the hurdles of that project.
So we were given The BIM coordination for AC Hotel, which is a Marriott in Greenville, South Carolina, had a tight deadline. It was midsummer. They wanted to begin pouring the slab by November, and so we had to have sleeving. But to have sleeving figured out, you have to have buildable design, and you have to have all those items coordinated for the post-tension slabs. With that, it was kind of a special instance or special case because the design wasn't thoroughly complete when we got it. So we moved forward with it, asking lots of questions of the design team on how to move forward with our layout, especially within the plumbing scope. There was a lot of information that was missing. They had either wall mounted or floor mounted, contractor verify for a lot of the toilets, and that will change the layout completely for the plumbing scope. We ran into many issues of ceilings not being fully coordinated, so we had to go back and lower some of the ceilings, but they wouldn't have known that without the BIM models and us laying those out. All in all, we were able to get most everything coordinated and ready for them by the time the building went up.
All right. Well, I think that wraps everything up as far as my questions. I hope this would be helpful to those of you guys who watch this, just to get an overall and kind of recap on BIM and what kind of services we provide and the powerful tool it can be for not only the architect owner team and the design team, but also for contractors and the people that are building it. So hopefully you enjoyed.
Thank you, guys.